sunglasses to Gucci for like £4 on ASOS. So super high end, right? Super expensive, super cool. That's me. Wild, also known as the Rolling Explorer, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am taking us all the way back to Fashion Week. Yours truly attended Fashion Week last year as both a guest and a model. If you missed it, I have an entire 4-part mini-series that's filmed very much documentary style already out of my channel. You can go find it in the cards up here or even in the description below. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I personally prepared for Fashion Week. We're gonna cover everything from finding the perfect outfit to how I got invited to different things to my audition to be a model. Before we dive into any of my preparations, I want to give you a little bit of context into why I personally wanted to attend London Fashion Week. If you're new to my page, welcome. I'm a content creator, model, and speaker, and I absolutely adore fashion. I always have. And more specifically, I've always had this attraction to London Fashion Week. Now, I know I have an American accent, but I actually live in London, England, so attending London Fashion Week was in the realm of possibility. In February of 2022, I walked my first ever runway as an official model. It was for an adaptive brand, and it actually took place during proper London Fashion Week, but it was not a rostered event. This was my first taste of a fashion event, and I just knew that I needed more. For several reasons. Again, number one, I love fashion. But number two is that fashion is one of those worlds that is always looking to what's next. So whatever is included in fashion is bound to be discussed, to be talked about, to be cared about in the next season. Do you see where I'm going with this? As a disabled creative, I can honestly say that the disability community has been silenced for so long in the fashion community, in the entertainment space, in every single artistic realm that you can think of. And if fashion is looking ahead to the future and it's predicting what we're gonna care about, not in this season, but next season, then making sure that fashion is diverse in every single way is so important. From including adaptive fashion to including disabled and diverse models. Hence where I come in. So after getting my foot wet in the February run, I knew that September, I had to be a main player. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was late June, early July when I found out that September's run of London Fashion Week began on September 15th, meaning that I had up until that date to get everything organized. Challenge accepted. Beyond this initial timeline research, the very first thing I did in my preparation for London Fashion Week was attend an open call audition for models. A really good model friend of mine was actually the one who told me about this audition, and we ended up attending together. She had followed the brand, Sarah Regensburger, for quite a long time and had found that they were quite diverse in the models that they chose to use. So I thought I might actually stand a chance. We traveled across the city on public transport at our own expense, and we went to this open call audition with very little expectation. Neither of us had any idea what was going on. We just showed up. We didn't even know what to wear. I remember specifically, we both were going back and forth like, what should we wear for this? Had no idea. Absolutely no clue. So I personally chose a mini skirt and a tank top that both showed off my body pretty well, but also were pretty easy to move in. They were both kind of stretchy. That was my goal. That was my goal. Something simple, something neutral, nothing too flashy. Done. And the entire process was really easy and really quick. We pretty much had to fill out a piece of paper, we got some measurements taken, and then we just did a strut back and forth, I think a couple of times, and we were out the door. That was it. If you haven't watched my 4-part London Fashion Week series, well, I'm about to give you a massive spoiler, but I ended up booking the runway and walking as a model for Sarah Regensburger from this singular open call audition. But all of this said, I didn't find out then and there at the audition that I'd booked the runway. I didn't find out until like 3 or 4 weeks later. We were into late August by the time I got the official confirmation that I would be walking Sarah's runway during London Fashion Week. Now, I actually was supposed to walk another runway for Adaptive Line Unhidden during September's run, but due to the Queen's passing, I was unable to do so as the show was postponed to February. So, I will be walking another runway during London Fashion Week, February 2023. So, if you'd like to see that content, be sure to hit that subscription button and notification bell because I'm bringing y'all with me once again. But back to September 2022's run of London Fashion Week, the next thing I did to prepare for the runway, for being a guest, all of these things, was genuinely take a vacation. And unfortunately, in the lead up to February's run, I will not be replicating this specific move. That would be amazing, but it's just not financially viable at this time, unfortunately. Probably needed a vacation more so after the fact than before, but before was good too. It prepped me, it got me in the zone, it got me tanned, it got me all the things. But at the same time, it wasn't specifically for London Fashion Week. It just was how the cookie crumbled. It was just how the timeline went. And this vacation came at probably the best time. I was on the verge of a burnout at the time creatively, and so I desperately needed this vacation to let my brain take a break, let myself really just relax. And I honestly think that doing that right before London Fashion Week was a lifesaver, especially because I'd not had any sort of break prior to that since, I kid you not, January. So I really needed that. At least going into February's run, I did just take some significant time off around the holidays so I could be with my family back in the United States. So I have that under my belt. That is close enough to London Fashion Week to get me through the chaotic week and ensure that I am good to go for the runway come February 17th. I arrived back in the UK around the end of August. So we're looking at probably the last few days. I think it was like the 28th of August or something like that. So we are really rapidly approaching Fashion Week at this point. I have an amazing content production assistant and PR manager named Mary, and she helped me so much with Fashion Week. Honestly, I owe a lot of my success during the week to her. She did all of the outreach so I could focus on being in the right headspace to take on the runway, getting my body, my hair, my face, all of myself prepared to be on a runway in a few weeks, and to really be in the moment creatively, both prior to London Fashion Week and during, so I could make the content that I wanted to throughout the entire process, including my 4-part series. Without her, I know that I wouldn't have attended half of the shows, if honestly any of them. So thanks, Mary, you are a queen. But I think it's important that you know that there was a lot of outreach that went into me being a guest at London Fashion Week. I might have over 150,000 followers across all of my social media platforms, but it's not like I'm a celebrity. People aren't reaching out and being like, Jess, please come to our fashion show, please. No. I had to ask to attend so that I could capture the content. That was what I wanted to do. And also, I wanted to show up for the disability community. I wanted to be there to remind people in the fashion industry who are looking ahead, who are looking for what's next, who are looking for what the world should care about next season. I wanted to be there to remind them like, hey, disabled people exist and we like fashion too, and we want you to think about us moving forward. So all of that is happening. And while it's happening, I pretty much go and pamper myself. As I should. But seriously, it was all part of this strategy to look and feel my best during London Fashion Week. I was so lucky to get gifted a facial experience at the House of Saab in central London. The facial I received was all about hydration, and it was incredible. My skin seriously has never glowed like this ever in my entire life. I felt so relaxed, so rejuvenated. My skin felt so supple and so just like, perfect and just so good. It looked so good and so healthy for weeks after this experience. If you're in central London and you'd like to get a facial, I could not recommend House of Sob enough. Seriously, it was the best experience, and they made the chairs so comfortable and the vibes so immaculate that I literally fell asleep in the chair. I felt kind of bad and kind of awkward because I probably was snoring for that process, but it was really relaxing, guys. It was a great way to just get in the moment and prepare to receive one of the best experiences of my life. The next thing on my to-do list is a bit more of a personal one and also more of a practical one. I needed to get my prosthetic leg refitted. As an amputee with a gastro-related chronic illness, I tend to fluctuate in weight a lot. And with these weight fluctuations, obviously my leg fits differently from 5 pounds heavier to 5 pounds lighter. It just is unfortunately the way it is. But the point is, I had dropped a few pounds and my leg didn't fit properly anymore. And in order to be safe and in order to be comfortable when going down the runway and going to all of these incredible events that Mary had put in place for me, I wanted to make sure that my leg fit as well as possible. So, to my prosthetist I went. These clips are from my final fitting appointment just to make sure everything was good. At the time, the knee joint was also causing some concern. It felt like it was kind of loose, so they tightened that up a bit, and I went on my merry way. I believe it was later that afternoon, but I went and got my hair done around that same time just to really brighten my hair up a bit, add some extra blonde highlights, and get my hair cut nice and fresh for the runway. The absolute last thing I wanted was to be going down the runway, getting my photograph taken by who knows how many photographers, and have dead ends and have dry and flat hair. Oh no, no, no. That was not gonna be how I made my presence known to the fashion industry. I needed a fresh cut. And so a fresh cut is what I got. My hair's kind of slicked back right now. That's because I am desperate for a new haircut. So I will be doing this again before my February London Fashion Week experience here in a few weeks. I was very, very lucky that the Pop Group, who was Sarah Regensburger's PR company, PR agency, they invited me to their warehouse to try on an outfit of Sarah's to wear as a guest to London Fashion Week. Yes, you heard that right. Sarah dressed me for part of my London Fashion Week experience, and I could not be more honored to get to wear her clothes again and represent her at other shows. Like, how freaking cool is that? Oh my goodness. Love that. Again, love you, Sarah. Thank you. So I am currently obsessed with the way the color red looks on my body. When I wear red, I just feel so confident, so sexy, like I could just take over the world. Honestly, like a true badass. And so when I saw this red velvet dress with a slit up the one leg, oh my God, I had to have it. I had to have it. I'm like, that's me. That is me. That is freaking me. And so they let me have it, and they let me borrow Sarah's very famous cactus leather coat, which looked freaking amazing. And I had such a great time with the Pop Group behind the scenes, trying on these clothes and getting their opinions, and yeah, it was a really great experience. So thank you to the Pop Group as well. You guys made the whole process so easy and so fun. Because I could only borrow 2 items from the Pop Group and Sarah Regensburger, I decided that I needed to get some inspiration from what was out there, what was in style at the time, so I knew what I should be wearing to London Fashion Week from my own closet. So what did I decide to do? Something I literally had never done before. I went into the high-end stores. And yes, I'm talking the famous ones, folks. Gucci, Valentino, Alberto Ferretti. We went to all 3 of these places. And guys, it was quite the experience. I felt so out of place. I literally put on a pair of sunglasses that I loved, by the way, that were like 4 times my rent. Don't know what to do with that, but like, can't afford them, very clearly. But they looked really freaking sick. Loved them on. Would buy them if I could. Can't. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. These stores, so expensive, a different shopping experience entirely. But I feel like I did get a pretty good vibe as to what was in style, and so the two things that I took away from that experience is that I should wear color and I should add as much volume as possible, meaning literal bulk of clothing. And I think the one outfit that Mary and I completely styled with stuff that was in my closet already really achieved this. I actually was so excited about this look in particular because it looked amazing. It photographed so well. I stood out. It was iconic, and it had some of my favorite colors involved, including red and pink. Quite Valentine's Day cliche, I know, but trust me, it worked. If you don't believe me, go watch part 4 of my London Fashion Week series. But yeah, I feel like going into these high-end stores was a really good test run for me for London Fashion Week. I kind of got a sense of what to expect when I'm in a space that is all about designer clothing. And just a little fun side note, in order to go to these shows, I remember sitting down with Mary and being like, I have to look expensive. I have to look rich. I have to look important, because there's no way I'm gonna have the confidence to enter a store that I know I cannot afford a single thing in if I don't feel like I look really freaking cool. And so that was the vibe that I was going for with this little black dress number. That was the vibe that I was going for when I went to these stores. Anyways, guys, there you have it. That is everything I did to prepare for the September run of London Fashion Week. If you've enjoyed any of it, then I promise you, you're going to like the content that I produce from the February run of London Fashion Week. So, as always, stay tuned for that. If you're not already, be sure you hit that subscription button and notification bell so you never miss any of my future uploads. And of course, if you like this video, be sure to let me know by giving it a big thumbs up and leaving me a comment down below about different things that you want to see from me going forward. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me. I'll see you next time. This little clip is not making me sound very intelligent. Sorry, moving on.